Hey, salam everyone, Ramadan Kareem. I hope you're having a blessed month and that all your prayers are accepted. So one day I was at the beach with a friend of mine, his name is Omar, and he was like, Haytham, can I ask you a personal question? Are you comfortable with Islam? Because I'm not. And he's like, I'm not feeling connected, and I don't understand why I'm praying, and I feel that I'm just doing a bunch of movements, and don't get me wrong, this is dangerous what I'm saying, but at the same time I can't ask these questions at a mosque. Are you okay with me asking these questions? And I was like, fine, sure, like that's what friends are for. And he's like, I don't know, I don't understand Friday sermons, what they talk about, and at the same time when I read the Quran, I pick up and read the Quran, I just don't get it. Maybe my Arabic is not that good, but I can read Arabic, but I don't understand the message. And the first thing I was like, Omar, do you know that the Quran was revealed over a period of 23 years? And he's like, no. And I was like, okay, so maybe that's why. And do you know that there's parts in the Quran where God speaks about a specific thing in a specific situation to certain people, and maybe you can misinterpret this verse into something else? He's like, no. And I was like, okay, so we're getting somewhere. And do you know that there is a difference between Muslims and Islam? And he's like, yeah, sure. But I was like, yes, Muslims are humans and we make mistakes. Islam is timeless, and it's a timeless universal message. So there's a big difference. Maybe you're frustrated with Muslims, and I understand why, because nowadays we're not the most advanced communities, or we're not producing something to the world. Maybe a few individuals are outstandingly doing well, but as a big community, we're lagging behind one way or the other. Back in the days we didn't, but now that's the case, and that's maybe why you're frustrated with Muslims. At the moment we're not the best representation for Islam. I told him, do you know that there is a verse in the Quran that says يَوْمَ لَا يَنْفَعُ مَالٌ وَلَا بَنُونَ إِلَّا مَنْ أَتَى اللَّهَ بِقَلْبٍ سَلِيمٍ? He's like, no, I never heard of it. I was like, okay. So it says that on the Day of Judgment, nothing will be of benefit for you as a human being, except, and nothing by nothing, malun wala banun. So malun is your wealth, your money, your assets, houses, mashallah, if you've got more than that, 6-figure, 7-figure salary, I don't know, like all your accumulated wealth, your cars, all of this is not going to matter. Your family, how big of a family, which tribe you came from, which special lineage you came, all of this, your skin color, all of this is not going to matter. Because on the Day of Judgment, the only thing that's going to matter is if you've stand in front of God with a good, pure, sound heart. So if your prayer is not affecting your heart and purifying you, is not making you a better person, then you're doing it wrong. If fasting and 30 days of Ramadan is not purifying you on the inside and working on your heart, then you're doing it wrong. If giving out from your wealth and spending by helping others is not purifying you and is not touching you inside, then you're doing it wrong. And he's like, that's interesting. I've never like connected the dots this way. And I said, why don't we sit down once a week and let's have some kind of reminder, a weekly reminder. And I have a good book that we can go over, and that would really help us. I told him one thing: you need to understand that, like, let's just get the basics straightened out so that it makes sense. Do you know why Prophet Muhammad ﷺ was sent? He's like, not really, like, okay, yes, to reveal Islam. I was like, yes, but in the Quran God says وَمَا أَرْسَلْنَاكَ إِلَّا رَحْمَةً لِلْعَالَمِينَ, and God says we have not sent you except for a mercy for mankind. He didn't say لِلْعَالَمِينَ means for mankind. He didn't say for Muslims, he didn't say for the believers, he didn't say for a specific type or color of people. He said for mankind. So if Prophet Muhammad was sent as a mercy for mankind, everything that doesn't make sense to you, that is not as a mercy for mankind, is against Islam. This is the basic rule you need to know, that Islam came in as mercy for everyone. And if it's not making your life easier, then there's something wrong. It's either something wrong with your understanding of Islam, or something wrong with your heart. You need to work on it to purify it, or whatever message that you heard is not correct. It cannot be anything else. So the book we used for this reminder was a book called The Purification of the Heart. It's a translation by Imam Hamza Yusuf from someone else called Imam Maulud. Anyways, whether you agree with Hamza Yusuf, that's not the point, because the topic of purification of the heart, or tazkiyat al-nafs, is a universal Islamic message. And there's another verse in the Quran that God says, كَمَا أَرْسَلْنَا فِيكُمْ رَسُولًا مِنْكُمْ يَتْلُ عَلَيْكُمْ آيَاتِنَا وَيُزَكِّيكُم. And we have sent a prophet amongst you to read our verses and to purify you. So the main purpose of Prophet Muhammad is to purify the hearts of Muslims. We'll be going through the book, The Purification of the Heart. Parts of the book talk about the diseases of the heart. Another part of the topic of purification of the heart is worshipping with your heart before anything else, because Islam is not just about the outwardly looks that we're focused on lately. The main parts of Islam is about helping orphans, helping widows, your neighbor, your neighbor, your neighbor, your neighbor. Prophet Muhammad kept asking and prioritizing your relationships with your neighbors and never hurting your neighbors in a way that made it sound that it's extremely important. And today you find Muslims like, okay, I live in the ground floor in the tower, why should I contribute to the service elevator fees? Or I'm gonna clean my own corridor, I don't want to pay in the community or cleaning company that comes in because I clean my own thing. Come on, don't be a hard neighbor. Be an easygoing person, a good Muslim, and treat your neighbors well. Your family, you know that this is a prerequisite for anything. Before any of your deeds are accepted or actions are accepted, that you need to have good connections, silatul rahim, and good relationships, good relations with your family. And it's very hard to do that in certain families, because families, they know how to squeeze in and push your buttons basically. So, but at the same time, you cannot be a good Muslim and cut your ties with your family. And then your mother, I'll always say that, because the Prophet said that your mother is the most important person to you as a Muslim, also, or as a human being. It just makes sense. She goes through a lot just to get you out to this world. So keeping good relationships with your mother, your family. So there's a lot in Islam that we need to talk about, and I hope you benefit from this series as much as I do. And inshallah, we'll be going over this through this Ramadan, and I hope you benefit as much as we did as a group from this. Thank you. Salam.